We now welcome Marina Menendez, Cuban journalist and international affairs analyst. Marina, thank you for joining us. Marina, what is the importance of this Sunday's parliamentary elections, not only for Venezuela, but for the progressive forces of the region?
Good afternoon again, or good night for some of the viewers. Well, these elections are very important from many points of view. First, we have to take into account that the 24 electoral processes that have been in process in the Bolivarian Venezuela after these have been different for several issues. These elections are relevant first because these elections are being held in contrast with the interference of the European Union that unfortunately are following the orders of Washington, which has been a proof of sovereignty of the people of Venezuela. And Catriona, this is very important in despite of the result of the elections today. So this is due to the institutionality of Venezuela, which has been in several difficulties for 5 years, with an assembly which has actually difficulted the stability and the welfare of the Venezuelan people. That's the main importance. And by natural death, because according to the Constitution, they are finishing their time. This National Assembly is finishing, which has supported the interference of the United States in Venezuela. Let's remember in 2017, the attempt of coup d'etat against Nicolás Maduro. And finally, I think I doubt that in any other country so many political forces have participated in an electoral process. Whatever the result will be, it will be clear that this will be a new parliament without hegemony. It's good to remember for some friends here that 14,000 candidates are participating from 108 political parties. And 2/3 of these political forces are regional, are locals. So this is of great importance of the popular participation and of a popular power. That the power is in the hands of the people. The people is in charge of transforming Venezuela, whatever the result of these elections are. And on the other side, it is very important that opposition forces from the right wing and even left wing that right-wing political forces, which have a tradition, have also presented their candidates.
How important is the role of international observers in terms of lending credibility to the process and the eventual results?
Of course, this is transcendental because Latin America has very sad experiences with several observer missions. Let's not forget the OAS role in Bolivia's elections, which were turned into a coup d'etat against Evo Morales. In Venezuela, there are companions missions and not observers missions, because the observer missions, what they do is to give credibility to these electoral processes. And this time, there is a very wide mission with over 300 personalities, politicians from all the continents. So we heard Evo Morales, we heard university professors from universities from the United States, and representatives from the several countries that are participating in these elections and which are connected into the social medias.
Incluso como fiesta que ha tenido lugar hoy en Venezuela en relación
with this party that has been taking place in Venezuela with this electoral process. And mostly because of the hard opposition that is not participating is the large fraud accusation, which everyone knows that the electoral processes in Venezuela have certain experience and prestige because of their transparency, because the automatization for the audits of the voting machines. Then in this context in which the right wing thinks that they will not recognize the results of these elections. And of course, the real panorama, which is the international observers are proving to it is very important.
Marina, the Venezuelan opposition has been further divided in the lead up to this process, with some sectors deciding to participate, while more extremist sectors have called for a boycott and abstentionism. How do you think this Sunday's vote could further shape this divide?
Well, whoever is watching this electoral process, what they say, these opposition leaders of this right-wing, extreme right-wing, which has been violent, and that today the President Nicolas Maduro revealed that they had violent plans on November to stop these elections. Those who really know, they know that they are divided. I'm talking about those who are not participating. I'm talking about the self-proclaimed interim president Juan Guaidó. I'm talking about Maria Corina Machado, maybe Leopoldo López, in his exile in Spain, fooling the Venezuelan justice. We do not agree with them. So they have their own opposition, their own position of boycotting the electoral process. But other parties in Venezuela, like Democratic Action and the Green Party, have also divided, because some of the leaders of these parties are participating. And there is another opposition right wing, which is actually having a dialogue, like the Claudio Fermin Solutions Party and other political groups of the right-wing opposition which are participating in the elections. Also, the transmissions that we have seen have called my attention that some of these opposition leaders are calling to participate, and they are given legitimacy, a space that belongs to the Venezuelan people, which is a space that show with their vote their policies. So the opposition is completely divided, and the opposition right wing, which is actually calling to vote, which actually are opposite to the socialist Union Party of Venezuela are calling to vote in a democratic way, and they are being very clever, because if they do not participate, they have to stay away.
Marina, thank you so much for joining us. We've been speaking there to Cuban journalist Marina Menendez, who has been offering her insight into this Sunday's parliamentary elections.